So, my dear Aquarius, today we're going to take a look at your love life energy. Now, this will be good for Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Venus, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius Rising. It just depends on how sensitive you are to the elements and to the energy. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a pick a pile reading. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. Right now, while I'm doing the introduction, you can be figuring out which pile is calling you. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody who might like it as well. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get a reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. All of my information is underneath this video as well, along with my Patreon. Let's see, what else is there? My PayPal, my Cashapp, my Amazon wish list. A whole bunch of goodies are underneath this video. I'm also going to put the link to where I got this cool mat that I'm using underneath the cards. And I'm going to put a list of all of the decks that I'm going to use. I'm going to use, I think, 4 decks today. So I'm going to put underneath that a list of all of the decks. Okay? All right, we're all ready. Let's get started. Pile number 1. This is you right here. All right, what's going on in your love life? Okay, so your card came up reversed. Okay? I'm flipping it in the upright so you can see the artwork. You got the 6 of Swords reversed. The 6 of Swords reversed means that for your love life, there's something that's not working. Either your love life is not going anywhere at all, or it has hit a little bit of a snag, because the 6 of Swords indicates that there could be a forward movement, but something has gone wrong. So for example, because it's the Swords, usually is something wrong with communication. So maybe you and your lover had a miscommunication, very basic kind of thing. It's a minor arcana, so it's usually something that is not like a huge life event, but it could be. Usually it's like a small argument, a little tiff, off-color comment. Is usually something more along those lines. So that's what you're dealing with in your love life. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not, because if you're in a relationship, it could be, you know, beefing or tiffing with your significant other. And if you're not in a relationship, it could be that you like somebody, but communication have not reached out. Or it could be that you haven't met anybody. Maybe you've been looking around and no communication has been coming back. So either way, is something wrong with the lack of communication. Let's see what else you get. But you know something, there's love here. So that means that if you're in a relationship, the person that you're not having a good time with at this moment, there is love there. One or both of you does love the other one. So things could definitely change in the future. If you're single, you're somebody who does have the capacity to love one day. So that vibration is good too. And it also means that you're going to draw one day somebody, if you work your law of attraction, who'll love you back. If you take a note right here, she has on a rose quartz crystal. That's a crystal for self-love. So those of you who are single, you should be remembering, and those of you who are in relationships should be remembering your self-love. But in order to draw someone to you, you have to start to love yourself. So if you're single, you really should be tapping into that self-love and preparing yourself for love. If you're in a relationship, just sit back and prepare yourself for the conversation that you're inevitably going to have. You guys are going to have to work through this communication thing. And one or both of you is avoiding it. You cannot avoid difficult conversations. If you're in a relationship, or if you're somebody who has, you know, somebody that you're interested in and there's something has gone wrong. This keeps tipping up. I'm not sure why. You can't avoid those conversations. You know, you can avoid them for a little while till you cool off and have a clear head, but you need to have these conversations. You can't just avoid the other person and, you know, turn your backs to each other. Especially not in this relationship, because for those of you who are in a relationship, it looks like to me this can be worked out. So you don't want to just avoid them. And for those of you who are not in a relationship, look at how you are avoiding actually being available. Okay, some people are single and looking, and some people are single and unavailable. So if you're getting the avoidance card and you're single, that means that somebody you like, your crush, could be avoiding you, or you could be avoiding others. So this is saying, how willing are you, single person, to actually meet people and go out there and do so? So both of these have that same avoidance energy going on. For those of you who are in a relationship, the other person says, I am still healing. So one or both of you really hasn't gotten over what happened. That off-color comment could have really hurt your feelings. So one or both of you has not gotten past that. And it may take a little bit of time, because remember we said that avoidance for long term doesn't work. But for a couple hours or a couple of days till you get your head clear is not a problem. Likewise, if you're single and you feel like, you're not ready, you could still be healing too. So that's another thing. So you should be continuously, consciously working on your healing energy. It also could mean that the person you're interested in, if you're single, they could still be healing. So it depends on who you are, which message this goes with. So they could still be healing, and you could be like, dang, I like this person. I've been trying to come on to them. They dissing me or not responding. And it could be just because they're still healing. So if someone is still healing, that's somebody that you probably, I ain't even gonna say probably, that's somebody you should not pursue at this time anything more than friendship. And if it's your significant other, like we said before, just give them a little bit of time. And hopefully things will turn around. So that's not awful, pile number one. It might not feel great, but it's not awful. Pile number two. Well, pile number two, you don't have a great card. You have the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups here for a relationship means loss, disappointment, or sorrow. So you could be really upset. If you're somebody who's in a relationship or was in a relationship, y'all might have broke up. Y'all might have had a big fight. This person might have tried to clown you, or might have been acting like a clown. Clown is right there. Those kind of things could have gone on. Loss, disappointment, sorrow is breakup. Somebody could have passed over. Somebody could have done something that you hurt your feelings. So if you're in a relationship, it's one of those kind of things. They could have just disappointed you by not coming home on time or something. If you're single, you could still be going through something from the past that you haven't let go of yet. So you could still be feeling the loss, disappointment, and sorrows from the past. The thing about it is that if you're single or in a relationship, you still have 2 cups. With the 5, only 3 of the cups have spilled. So that means you still have opportunities. There's still others that like you. There's still other people who, you may want to get with later. So it's not the end of the world is my point. So if someone has hurt you or broke up with you, or if you're still hurting, just do your process and get back on a horse. Do your healing process and get back on a horse. You also got the detachment card. So if you're in a relationship, y'all not really doing well as far as attaching or connecting with each other right now. One or both of you is extremely detached. Aquarius are always accused of being detached. I'm detached all the time. I really am. I have to work to attach, and it has to be a conscious decision for me. So I'm like this a lot. I'm just like not attached to things. I feel like everything is impermanent, which I think is a good thought. I heard it in Buddhism and Eastern philosophy. But it's not good in a relationship because you're supposed to be attached to each other. So those of you in pile number 2, one or both of you is not attached or not feeling the attachment. And this, looking at your cards, I think this could be, it could turn around. Y'all could work this out, but it looks like it's going to be quite a problem for now. So that's something that's not good. If you're single and you get this card, it means you are detached, and that makes perfect sense going with that first card. So if you're single and you got this, it means you're not allowing people in. You're not letting them get to know you. You're not letting people in your nucleus. So you're detached, or you're trying to get with somebody who's emotionally unavailable. That's another thing that happens with this card. Sometimes, yeah, I'm single and I'm trying to see somebody and I really like him, but he's not really responding, or she's not really responding. Well, maybe that person is not emotionally available, and are you going after that person because you know that subconsciously and it means you don't have to commit? Because that's something I would do. In the old days, that's something that I would do. So the question becomes, why are you trying to attach to a person that doesn't want to be attached to? So it depends on, like I said, what situation you're in. And for the couples, y'all not really compatible. That's not good, because this means that, yeah, y'all possibly could work it out, but if you're incompatible, you're probably going to end up in the same space again. People who are incompatible might break up and get back together, but they always find the same incompatibility unless the incompatibility can be changed. For example, if you're incompatible because the other person is an alcoholic, right? But that person goes to rehab, and about 3-4 years later you see them and y'all start seeing each other again. Well, y'all might be compatible this time if the alcohol was truly the only problem present. So this incompatibility with a couple is kind of tricky. Now, as far as a single is concerned, it could just mean, like I said before, the person that you're feeling, your crush, maybe that person isn't the right person for a numerous amount of reasons. Or it could be you. You could be giving off a vibration of incompatibility or detachment or disinterest. And that could be pushing people away from you if you're single. So maybe somebody might think you're cute, or they might want to talk to you, but your attitude and your energy tells them, do not approach. Don't bring your ass over here. So if you're single and that's the case, you got to think about how to change your vibration. I recommend healing. Emotional healing will change your vibration, and meditation. Ooh, well, here we go. If you're in a relationship, pile number 2, you gotta really look at this. Or if you were in a relationship, you really gotta look at this, because they're telling me this person isn't even trustworthy. So don't trust me. Don't trust me means they can't trust you, or you can't trust them, or both. That's what that message means. So there is a problem with trust in this relationship, and if you have no trust, you have no relationship. So if I were you and I was in a relationship, or I just got out of one with somebody and I picked pile number 2, I would think long and hard about what I'm doing. Now, if you're single, this means that ask yourself, are you trustworthy? If you're a trustworthy individual, you're not a cheater, you're not a liar, you're not a player, you're not a dog, then you're good. But you have to be careful in that case for your opposite. So you have to make sure that whoever you choose to get with, that they are trustworthy. Don't move too fast. Slow walk everything and observe. And for an Aquarius, that's what we do. So I know that won't be too hard for many of you. All right, number 2. Number 2, that is really sad news. It's not the best news. But some of the times, that's what it takes to find what you really deserve. Somebody hurt your feelings hard enough, you'd be like, you know what? I am not putting up with this no more. And pile number 3. Number 3, your love life got the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords indicates that in your love life, if you're a couple, maybe one of you is busy this week or this month. This is for February. So one of you might be busy sometime during this month, maybe having too much work, and you can't get together, you can't make date night, something like that. This card usually indicates a temporary retreat. So one of you could be busy, one of you could be on a business trip. It could be anything like that. Just basically where you can't spend the time that you want to spend with that person. Maybe y'all live in the same house together, but you have a paper that's due, or you have something for work that's due, something like that. Maybe you both have things you're working on. So this is basically just a temporary separation, and it could be a separation just mentally, where like you got to check out for a minute because you're focusing on something, or a separation where one of you has to go somewhere. But the cards are telling me it's not a bad thing. They're saying that this couple really needs to just focus on their friendship right now. If you're apart or whatever the case is, just make sure you make a little time for your friendship. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I go into this one, I did not tell my singles what this means for y'all. I just remembered. If you are single and you got this card, it's a totally different meaning. I forgot. It means that you are alienating yourself. And remember I said this earlier and I was talking about the other ones. It's saying that you're alienating yourself. You're not allowing yourself to meet people. You know, you have to put yourself out there, pile number 3. You have to go to nightclubs. You have to go to dating apps, meetup.com, social events, whatever, the bookstore, I don't know, wherever you into, basically, you want to go do those things. Because if you meet somebody doing your hobbies, then you probably have somebody that's into what you're into, and maybe your compatibility is going to be high. Like, for example, if you're into music, go to a concert once a month or once every couple of months, whatever your budget allows, you know. This is saying that you have to put yourself out there. You're keeping yourself locked away, singles for pile 3. And nobody can find you. Like, look, your lover's not gonna come knock on your door. Sometimes, yeah, but in most cases, no. You're gonna need to be out there where they can see you. And if you're not a going out person, then you might want to try the dating apps. Some people hate dating apps, but I know somebody that met her husband on a dating app and they got married like a couple months ago. About almost a matter of fact, they got married in August. So my thing is that you never know, but you're not putting yourself out there, and the cards are saying that you're not going to meet anybody like that. Now we'll go to the friendship card. So couples, you need to work on your friendship. So while the person is away, you know, they're working or whatever they're doing, or you're busy, you're away, or you're in the house, whatever is going on, whatever this little retreat is, you need to be making sure that you are also cultivating your friendship. So you're continuing to send each other little texts, like little cutesy things, or, you know, little small stuff, what you can do. If they're on a business trip, they're not in a different planet. That doesn't mean they can't shoot you a text or an email, you know, or if you're busy working on something, that doesn't mean that you can't come have dinner with the person. You might not be able to hang out, but you can have a meal real quick. So just keep on working on your friendship and enjoying each other's company as much as you possibly can, because like I said, you may not be together during this time. And if you are a single person, this card is saying that this is really cool, right? Because Aquarius, we always fall in love with our friends. So I love this card. So this card is telling you, make friendships. Everything doesn't have to be about sex, as many of us know. So just make friendships, and maybe one of those friends will turn into more. You know, don't go out, you know, with the concept in your mind of finding the love of your life, even though you might. Go out with the concept of meeting good friends and making good connections. Because, like I said, Aquarius is the sign of friendship. And our friends are often the ones we end up in relationships with. So I strongly suggest you allow yourself to make new friends, especially if you don't have any prospects. Communication. So again, my couples, you need to be communicating. So all right, you know, shoot a text message, make a phone call. You know, you might not be able to chew the fat for 2-3 hours, but you can call for 5 minutes and just check on the person and see how their day is. You know, you might be on your business trip, but you can call during your lunch, you know, something like that. Just use any communication that you possibly can. I don't care, smoke signals, telepathy, something. Communicate with that person you care about. And like I said earlier, if you're single, you need to be communicating with people, making those friendships, making those connections. You cannot sit in your living room and play PlayStation, you know, or read books or whatever it is that you like to do and think that this person is going to come knocking on your door. You could be 1 in a million that gets lucky and the mailman is gorgeous, you know, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sitting on that couch by yourself forever. So what they're saying is communicate with people, talk to people. Aquarius have a tendency to be very self-sufficient, and a lot of us don't talk to people. You know, I can go weeks, months without talking to another person because I have so many clients to talk to. So I'm so exhausted sometimes I don't even talk to people for fun, you know? So we have the tendency to do this. So if you're finding that you are spending time alone and you're, in this pile, then this means that you definitely need to have some communication. And your last card, ooh, yes. This one, pile 3, if you're in a relationship, y'all need some, when y'all do come back together, because apparently, y'all need some physical touch time. I love your body. So y'all need to come together as soon as you can and have some physical touch, some intimacy. It could be sex. It could just be holding hands. It could be laying in the bed and kissing and worshiping on each other. It could be whatever you want it to be, quite frankly, whatever two consenting adults agree to. But it's saying here that y'all need some of that body time. This person loves your body or you love their body, hopefully vice versa. So that's what it's talking about for my couples. Now, if you're single, make sure that, number one, you're loving your own body. Because remember, if you're trying to get out there and meet people, your own body needs to be on point. I'm talking about hygiene, of course. Many of you already have that down pat. Stuff like that, but also like, exercising, being able to move around, being able to, get your body going, keeping your body sexy or attractive in whatever ways you see fit. Those kind of things is what this is talking about if you're single. Because remember, if you're single and trying to attract someone, visual is important. It's not the most important thing. Personality is important. There's a number of things that are important, but the body is the first thing people see. It's the very first thing. So if you look good, you smell good, that's another plus, going towards you. And remember, I said before, you don't want the body to be the only thing, but it is one important thing. So if you're single, you want to make sure you are, on point in that kind of way. There's nothing wrong with being sexually attracted to somebody. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that draws people together, depending upon how it happens or when it happens. So that's a good thing. That's an awesome thing. So take care of your body, love yourself if you're single, and get yourself out there, start communicating with people, and you might not be single this time next month. Who knows? Okay. All right, Aquarius, my babies, here is your reading for February, your love reading for February. I will be back with your March love reading, and I will try to do it earlier. Today is February 10th when I'm recording this. I try to record these before the month starts, but sometimes you know how life is. Sometimes life just comes at you too fast, okay? So you guys come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.